The funny thing is, we humans, we already know what to do before we go seeking for any form of advice. And I know, we all know because we've all done it before where you know what you want to do, but you still go and seek for advice. Watch podcasts, listen to motivational speeches, read self-help books, write your journals. Like, you know what you want to do, but you still get the advice. Keep it to yourself and then not act on it. So I was just thinking, as I normally do, and then I was wondering what could be the reason why we do this as human beings. Like, why do we do this? And I came up with a lot of reasons, and I'm going to talk about some of them, just very few. I wrote them down. So I'm going to probably read a lot. I'm going to be looking down a lot and then reading from the book because I am human. So everything is not here. Mm? Everything is not up here. Yeah. So let's get into it. And before we start, this channel is where I share my thoughts, my opinions, my experiences, and I hope that we all learn from them. So if they're just my opinions. If you feel like you have something to add, please feel free to comment. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first one is hidden advice. Most good advice advocates for change. Most very good and effective advice, like the right ones, advocate for changes that we are not prepared to make. So because it requires you to leave your comfort zone, to leave that thing that you don't want to let go of. It could be pride, it could be comfort, it could be relationships, it could be a job, it could be a situation that you're so attached to that you feel like I can't leave. So you're just there, even though you've gotten the advice that this is it, this is what I really, really, really need to do. But because you cannot leave, you just ignore the advice. Please don't mind the background noise. Like I said, this channel is where I share my candid thoughts, so you're going to hear background noise. I'm not going to edit too much out of it. Yeah, so this is the first one. And it happened to me a lot where I know that in the past where I know that okay, this relationship, I'm using what I know is bad for me, and because I'm already attached so much, I don't want to like have to go through that pain of detachment. Or maybe when you have a bad job, I've had bad jobs where I'm being underpaid, overworked, and still not being respected. But because there's no fallback, and I don't want to leave that comfort zone of knowing that okay, at the end of the month, at least something is still going to be in my account, I opted to like not heed advice and just stay there. And at the end of the day, I had to leave because not heeding advice does not mean that the problem has gone away. It just means that you have postponed taking action. Yeah, so second one, I think that the reason why people go out, seek advice, come back and not use it is because the advice gets to your ears before it gets to your emotions. It gets to your ears before it gets to your emotions. For example, you're angry at somebody or something, and everybody's begging you to reconsider, please stop being angry and all that, and then you don't hit. You're in that moment, you're not thinking with your logic or head, you're thinking with your emotions, which will now make you not to hit to the advice of okay, let it go. It could be trauma. Yeah. So if you have trauma, and you know that okay, this is trauma, it's killing me, it is eating me and all that, but because your emotions are stuck with that event, like maybe it's something about fear or hate or whatever, you won't heed the advice. Instead, it's going to lock you down and then you end up letting it drown you. Or it could be a toxic relationship. Yeah, but because you're emotionally attached, you know the advice, you know it's abusive, you know they're beating you, you know somebody is taking you for granted, but you cannot leave because you are attached emotionally. So the advice will go to your head, your mind, it will go to your brain, but your heart is not like listening. It could be procrastination, and like, because you're emotionally attached to whatever it is that is keeping you where you are, you don't want to like make a move or yeah, heed advice. So emotions don't work, like they don't travel at the same pace as logic, which is why emotions can stop you from heeding advice. And then the next one should be, yeah, sometimes we have to experience the pain and enough embarrassment and pain and disappointment for us to be able to heed advice. So it's not that the advice is not good, it's just that you now you need to see the shege, you need to understand that this is so bad before you now push yourself out of that situation. Also, there is the issue of identity. Yes, the issue of identity. If I believe I'm something and you want to advise me, and the advice you're giving me goes against that thing I strongly believe that I am most likely not going to hit it. For example, let's use religion. I'm a Christian and you want to advise me, and even if the advice is good, I mean, it's going to benefit me, but because of my morals, who I think I am, my identity, I am not going to want to like take that advice. Or for instance, now someone that is very racist, and then you're telling them that they should hire someone that is dark or maybe white or Asian because they have better it, like they will choose. Okay, yeah, let me put it better. Maybe this person is a boss. It could be a white person or a black person, and then their race is towards somebody, a particular race, or maybe tribe, if you come down to Nigeria, and then you bring that person and the person has a lot of capabilities, like they are the right person for the job, and then you bring someone that comes from the tribe that they favor or maybe the race that they favor, they are most likely going to hire the person that has less capabilities just because of the fact that they are racist. Like it goes against logic, the right thing to do, but because of that, their identity, their mindset, they're not going to heed the advice. Trust me, they won't. And it's just so like sad. Like, okay, maybe so a girl that thinks that she's an independent woman and all that, you cannot change her mindset. You cannot make her see it differently. Or maybe someone that has been traumatized, someone that has trauma, and then it has put this mindset, this identity of who they are in their head. It is very very bad, like it is very very hard for you to like bring them out of that. Maybe someone that feels like the whole world hates them or they're not beautiful enough, they could be giving good advice, they are seeing it, they know that this is the logical thing to do, but they'll still choose to do otherwise because of that mindset, that identity. And yeah, it's also part of the reason why people seek advice, get it, and then keep it in Pandora's box and never go and open it again. So the next one now is timing. Timing. This one is my personal favorite because I've really I have gone through it. Trust me. So there are some things that while you were growing up, your parents or people that older than you talk to you about, and then in your mind you're like, why are they disturbing me? I'm so grown. I know what I'm doing. I'm a big boy. I'm a big girl. Just keep growing. Don't worry. You understand them. So timing is also part of the reason why people don't take advice, because then when you tell them about it, they don't really have the emotional capacity no emotional and capacity, or the level of experience to understand what you're trying to tell them. So that's why some advice that you were given when you were younger, when you go, or as you get older, and then if you hear it again, you'll be like, wow, I understand why this thing was told to me, or I understand why my mom or my dad or my friends or my uncle or my grandma were telling me things like this then. So timing is very important. So, and also I believe that people should be allowed to make mistakes sometimes. Experience is still the best teacher, no matter how we look at it. Experience will always be the best teacher. So, if they give somebody an advice and they don't take it, know that maybe in that time that the timing is not correct for them, and eventually, don't worry, just like me, they are going to like align. They're going to be on a straight line, because me now, there are things I thought I would never do, but as I get older, I'm seeing the need and then the reasons to do those things. So the next one is people don't talk about this a lot, enough or a lot. I don't know. Well, it's not every advice that you follow. It's not all advice that is given to you that you're supposed to follow. It's not everybody that opens their mouth to advise you that you're going to heed their advice. People advise you from a place of their personal experience, their personality, their fears, their limitations, their religion, their emotions, their mindset. Like, you cannot ask a racist person to advise you and expect them to like be inclusive. You cannot ask somebody that is not a Christian to advise you on whether you should have a white wedding or not. You cannot ask your parents to advise you to take risk that will put your life in danger. Yes, parents can also, some advice can be limitations. They can be they can limit you, they can restrict you, they can make you stay stagnant. And I'm not saying that every parent trying to look out for their child can cause stagnancy. I'm just saying that if not kept in check, there are some advice that if you follow, it will take you to a place that is worse than where you were when you started. So yeah, not every advice that you're supposed to follow. So the best thing is just to like pick what you can, do with it, and the one that aligns with you, do with it what you want to do with it, and then leave the rest. So yes, that's part of the reason why people still will go for advice, get it, and then be like, no, you cannot expect someone that grew up in a very ras or rowdy or loud environment to want to resolve conflicts by dialogue and conversation, when we can just break bottles and injure people. You cannot advise someone that did not grow up in the streets, someone that grew up maybe in a very should I say cultured, proper environment, to come and start shouting or raising hell because people are oppressing them. They will always want to like go through that their normal quiet route. You cannot expect someone that has experienced abuse to have the same mindset as someone that has not experienced abuse. So people advise you from a place of from their experiences. So if it does not align with what you want, it is advised also that you don't take the advice. I don't know. So after like this is I think this is like the last one I'm going to talk about, because there are so many reasons. It's not for you to go and check and then see the ones that you feel you can add. So the my conclusion is that nothing in this earth is black and white. No advice is good or completely bad. I think the aim now is not to either take advice or not take advice. The aim is to be someone that can have that listening ear, like know that you're not absolutely correct, like you're not always correct. So learn how to take advice, or at least listen enough to know to consider or to correct yourself, and then also yeah, listen enough to consider the advice, and also to know that you're not God. You can make mistakes. Is okay to admit that you're wrong. It's okay to admit that you're not always right, that you need to improve. Yes, so take the advice that you can take. This is my opinion. Or take the advice you can take. Leave the ones you want to leave. Learn from your mistakes. There's no manual to life. I mean, this is just a video on why I think people don't take advice, and this is literally the end of it. So yeah, remember, this channel is just a place where I voice my opinions, my experiences, talk about it. So if you feel like what I said does not make sense to you, it's also okay. You can voice your opinions in the comment section. Give us what your own thoughts and your opinions, your experiences too. And if you're here, thank you so much for coming to the end of this video. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and what else? I don't know. Bye.